Hey humans of the world, I'm Pragya Gargi and today I'll be discussing 3 of the most creepiest unsolved cases. So if you're interested in true crime stories, serial killers, cults, paranormal activities, UFO tales and basically anything spooky, please consider subscribing to my channel because that is what I discuss over here every second Tuesday. Now without any further ado, let's get into the first story. On November 29, 1970, a family went out for a stroll and made a gruesome discovery. They found the body of a woman wedged between several large rocks, and she was badly burned at the front, so much so that she was completely unrecognizable, although her back had remained mysteriously unburned. The autopsy would later reveal that the woman had been alive while she had started burning due to the presence of soot found in her lungs. Apart from that, they even found over 50 sleeping pills in her stomach. There were bruises on the right side of her neck, and there were several other odd elements to the crime scene. You know how you have labels on your clothing, right? Like perhaps from Zara or H&M. The labels on this woman's clothing had been strategically cut out. Her belongings, including jewelry and a watch, had been removed and placed specifically around the body. The puzzled police could not identify the unfortunate lady, who became to be known as the Isdal woman, named after the valley in which she was found. So they kept on searching, and there was a break in the case when they found that her fingerprints matched to a set of luggage found at the Bergen train station. The luggage had clothing, prescription lotion, a diary, a postcard, and many other mundane travel things. However, anything that could have identified the woman had been purposely cut off so that even the brands were a mystery. So the police turned their attention to the diary, which had some coded entries. Around this time, there were reports that a woman had been seen taking notes during the military test of new rockets in Western Norway. In addition to the regular items which any traveler would have, there were Norwegian, Swiss, Belgian, and British banknotes and coins. The cases also had several whips. The cases also had. Why am The cases also had several wigs and maps, the elements of disguise. The police were able to trace back the origins of some of these items to the shopkeepers and witnesses who had interacted with the Isdal woman. The witnesses recalled an elegant, confident, well-dressed brunette. Basically, she had like dark hair and she spoke English well but with an accent. She also knew how to speak German, Flemish, and French. From here, the police were able to identify that the woman had traveled all across Europe and Norway. She used different identities and fake passports to check into the hotels, and the codes in the diary connected to the places the woman had visited. For example, 022 028P is a code for her stay in Paris from 22nd to 28 October. Unfortunately, this is where the investigation dried up. Without any further leads, the police declared this case as a suicide because of the autopsy pills which were found in her stomach. But there was no clear explanation of the burning, and there was also some petrol found at the location. So there was no explanation to that, and also this location was pretty remote. It was in the outskirts. No explanation for that as well. I smell murder over here more than suicide. She was given a Catholic funeral in 1971, and the case was considered closed despite the many unanswered questions. The popular theory is that the Isdal woman was a spy during the Cold War, since Norway was right on the front lines between Russia and the West. It was a hotbed for espionage, which is the act of finding out secret information about another country. In whatever way or for whatever reason that Isdal woman met her end, someone took great care to see through that she was not identified ever. While this might mean that her story may never be fully known, researchers still continue to find out some relatives to her so that she can finally be put to rest. Before we move on to the next video, I just want to quickly remind you to subscribe because I put in a lot of efforts in these videos and I would appreciate some warm love. So yeah, let's get back. In In 2007, a girl was walking on the beach of British Columbia when she found a sneaker that had washed up on shore. To her horror, she found a foot inside that sneaker. Since then, a number of feet have washed ashore on that beach. The feet have been connected to 5 men, 1 woman, and 3 of unknown gender. Throughout the years, this case still remains a mystery, while many theories have been floating amongst the general public and the media as to who these feet belonged to.
The police managed to identify one foot in 2008, matching its DNA to a man who was described as suicidal. They were able to then match 2 other feet to a woman who was also believed to have committed suicide. However, many believe that these feet belong to victims of the tsunami in 2004, since these shoes have all been manufactured before 2004.
What do you think? What could be the possible theory or reason behind these feet floating on? There was a BPO in present-day multi-storied building in Gurgaon called Saffron BPO, and this was made on a cemetery, like this was built on a graveyard. Not a comforting start, I know. Anyways, since it was built on a graveyard, many of its employees used to complain of facing paranormal activities. One of its employees was a hardworking, talented young girl called Rose. Rose was very consistent with her work. She was very efficient. In fact, she was winning Employee of the Month award for the last couple of months. And one night she received an inbound call which usually lasts from 5 to 10 minutes. But this particular call, it went rather long. As the call went on, Rose started looking increasingly upset and dazed. Her fellow colleagues were waiting for the call to get over since they all traveled in the same cab to get home. But when the call crossed over the 40-minute mark, one of her colleagues transferred the call to himself. To his surprise, he realized that there was no one on the other side. So Rose was talking to herself this entire while. But because it was already so late and people were getting cranky, they decided to drop the subject and did not say anything to anyone. That night, they all sat in the cab to go to their respective homes, and Rose was uncharacteristically very silent that night. She sat alone in her seat and did not talk to anyone, and when her house came, she stepped out, and that was the last time Rose was ever seen. When she did not come to office for a couple of days, her colleagues started worrying a little bit because Rose was known to be very efficient and she never really took a leave. So they decided to visit her at that address where the cab always dropped her. And when they went there, the landlord said that this girl named Rose never lived there. He did not know anyone like that. They could not believe this because they had been picking her up from that house and dropping her every night to that since the last 6 months. So Rose's friends and members from the company decided to investigate her disappearance. Her permanent address was tracked down from the documents which she had submitted to the office at the time of her recruitment. When her friends reached to Rose's parents' house and talked to them, they heard something that absolutely blew their mind. Her parents informed them that the real Rose had died 4 years ago in a road accident. The sequence of paranormal events continued in that office, and within a few days, 2 of Rose's closest friends died mysteriously. After this, one by one, people started resigning from the company, and there came a time when the company's office turned into an abandoned place due to fear. What are your thoughts on these cases which I just discovered? Which one creeped you out the most? And do you personally believe in paranormal activities, in ghosts and otherworldly beings? Let me know down your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll see you the next time. Take care of yourself till then. Bye bye.